Alright folks, hello, thanks for tuning in. We're going to make some stuffing here. This is an old sort of traditional stuffing that my granny used to make when I was a boy. However, I've now moved away from Northern Ireland and I'm in Glasgow 15 years, and I just feel that I've kind of adapted it to suit myself. So this is sort of my granny stuffing with my twist on it. So here we go. What you're going to need is a wee bit of celery. This is shallot onions and some diced carrots. In here what we've got is some blended carrots along with some blended onions. Okay, that's just very fine. In here of course we've got our loaf of bread, and what we've done is blended the loaf, a full loaf of white bread. We've blended it up and we have added parsley, thyme, basil and some black pepper to it. Down here we've got a vegetable cube and a ham cube. So I'm going to melt that down very soon, just in a tiny wee drop of boiling water, and then I'm going to add it to the mixture, which is really step 2. So that's everything sort of prepared and ready. Next up we're going to create the sauce that we then pour in to this, and we'll move on to step 2 next. Right, so next up, step 2, we have the making of the sauce. What you've got here is all the celery, shallots, the chopped up carrots, and then this, which was the finer blended stuff. A couple of big spoonfuls in it with it as well. And really what I'm doing is I'm just trying to cook it in butter, just to try and take the rawness out of it before we go to step 3. I said to you that I would create a wee bit of stock, and this is really a ham cube and a vegetable cube. Now that isn't very thick, but it's watery enough so that it can come out of the jug. So here we go. That's maybe about 150 millilitres there. So what we're going to do is just mix that all up. Okay, and again, I'm just going to let that sit, turn it up a wee bit. Let that sit for a few minutes. You don't want it going too hot because then it'll start spitting and bubbling all over the place, as you can see. So just let that sit and cook off a wee bit in the butter and in the stock, and that is the sauce that will be added then to the breadcrumbs, and that will then start to create the actual stuffing. And again, this is just a breaded vegetable stuffing. There's no meat or anything going into it, and as I say, that'll all come together in step 3. So stay with me, I'll complete the sauce and I'll be with you in a few wee minutes. Okay, so in step 3 I'm going to be using the handy old Tefal Actifry 2-in-1 here. I'm pretty much going to be putting all the breadcrumbs and stuff in here and then starting to pour the sauce in and letting it all mix up. Now the Tefal Actifry is an air fryer, so it's going to create it with air. I've added here just a bit of garlic puree and a wee lump of butter, just really to grease the pan. So I'll show you it all coming together, and this will be step 3. So just stay with me while I finish off the sauce. It's kind of there now. Just a final wee stir. Yeah. Okay, so that's the sauce pretty much there. That took literally 5 minutes on a kind of low heat. It wasn't bubbling too much. So let me start to get the breadcrumbs and stuff into this pan here, which lifts out. I'll come over here. All these like spices and stuff are already in here. It's been mixed up. I also added a wee bit of garlic powder to it, and as I said to you just here, I've added a wee bit of garlic puree. It's not a lot at all, but it's just to give it a wee lift. To be honest, my granny would have never had garlic near it either. There's probably a lot of the things, celery she never had in it, thyme and parsley, or sorry, thyme and basil, I can't remember either. But listen, if you get the chance and you can, put fresh parsley in it, but just now I'm just putting in a wee one out of the tub there. So, right, let me get all this stuff in, stay with me and we'll move on to step 3. Alrighty, so this is the start of step 3. I have applied the breadcrumbs here to the Tefal pan. That's that pretty much ready to go in now, and then we'll just add some of the sauce. So we're getting there. Right, here we go. Alrighty, so that is the sauce added to the breadcrumbs, and all I'm going to do now is stick this in for say 10 minutes. Okay, starting to steam up. That's it. Now, let me point out that if you don't have a Tefal Actifry, we'll do it the way we used to do it, and that is by putting it into an oven dish. But what you do need to do at that point, of course, is mix all the sauce into, I still got a bit of sauce left. I always leave a wee bit of spare sauce, just don't bung it all in. You're not wanting this to be a runny stuffing, but you're not wanting it to be a thick stuffing either. It's kind of just getting that happy medium. Over here, what I would say is we've got to always keep a wee bit back in case you need to add a wee bit extra. It's just all about trying to judge it. What I would say is that if you don't have the Tefal Actifry, once you've got all the breadcrumbs, you know, the bigger breadcrumbs, just start adding a wee bit of sauce and just mix it with a spoon or a wooden spoon and then just add a wee bit more sauce, mix it with a wooden spoon until you get that sort of consistency where it's that happy medium. Just now you'll see what the Actifry does is it has a wee hand that keeps going around in a 360 degrees there whilst it pumps in the hot air to cook. And as you know, obviously this is butter based, so and there's a wee bit of olive oil was added to the base with a wee bit of garlic puree, and that'll just sit and mix around, and if I feel it's too dry, then I'll just add a wee bit more sauce to get that happy medium that I talk about. So I will let this cook away for the next, what has it got, next 9 minutes or so, see where we're at the 9 minutes, and then I'll get back to you and we'll take it from there, so stay tuned. Sorry folks, just a wee quick one I want to throw in is that I kind of assumed that you would know how to make breadcrumbs. It is really easy, and I'm sure you probably already how to do it, but I normally just get a loaf of bread and I leave the bread out kind of overnight, you know, take the packaging off it and let a bit of air get to it, because it's better when it's a bit more dry and the freshness, the moistness is out of it, and then when I blend it, it's a lot more sort of crispy and it gets that way. I'm kind of at an advantage because I've got the Tefal, because it's air cooking it. That's where I find the Tefal really does come into itself. So I really am at an advantage to anybody that doesn't have it. What I would say is if you're cooking it in the oven, just make sure that as you cook it, every 10 or 15 minutes, go in with a spoon in your oven dish and kind of turn, you know, give it a mix around so that all the sort of stuffing in under is getting a feel of the, you know, the heat of the oven as well. That's the only sort of thing that I felt that maybe I didn't mention. So let's see what's left here. We've got 6 minutes left here, so as I say, stay tuned. I just thought I would throw that one in there in case maybe somebody gets stuck. Right, happy days, that's the 10 minutes over. It's looking pretty decent. I've just give it a wee breakdown there. So I still have a wee bit of sauce left, and I still have a wee bit of breadcrumbs left. So what I'm going to do is just add a wee bit more to the mixture here and see if we can create some more now that it's pretty much there. So just 2 more wee minutes, stay with me. Alright, so I've added the final bit of the sauce. I'm going to mix it up, and then I'm just going to add wee handfuls at a time just to get the correct sort of happy medium that I talk about. So that's not too bad, it's looking really good. I mean, but I don't have to, there's plenty of stuff in there, but I might as well just finish it up and get as much as I can out of it, because there's plenty of people roar about it and come in and steal it from us. So let's finish it up here. There we have it. That's so that's the sauce and the breadcrumbs at it. You're never going to be stuck anyway, because you can always add a wee lump of butter, and of course that'll melt and moisten it up a wee bit more. There we have it folks, that's it done. So it's not much to look at, but it tastes absolutely fantastic. As I say, if you feel you want it a wee bit more moist, that's not quite dry and it's not quite really wet. It's just the way I like it. I say there's a wee bit of the fresh stuff that I've put in. I could add a wee bit more butter and stuff to it, but for me that will do rightly. I'm really happy. Can't wait to add this to it's now Boxing Day actually, it's not Christmas Day, it's Boxing Day with us, and what I'm going to be doing next is adding it to what I call Shacky. I'll show you it just before I finish up here. I'll show you what I'm going to be making next, what the stuffing's going to be getting into, and maybe you can check out one of my other videos that actually talks about me making Shacky. Hold on and I'll go and get it out of the fridge. Right, so what I have here is leftovers from yesterday's Christmas dinner. We have ham, we have turkey, we have chicken, and we've got some potatoes, and I've also got some Brussels sprouts that are left off there in the fridge as well. And all I do is pretty much chop it all up, as I say, like this. And once again, you can either fry it in the frying pan like I did this morning, or tonight I tried to just put a wee twist on it. Tonight what I'll be doing is I'll be taking the stuffing out of the Actifry here. I'll be keeping a wee drop in it, and I'll be combining it with this. And I've also got a wee bit of gravy left over that I used from the stock of the turkey yesterday. And I just add our nice homemade gravy to this once it's all cooked, and it just bung it onto the plate and eat it, and that's what we call Shacky. What I will do is I'll link to the video that I made this morning of making the Shacky, and that's pretty much it for me, folks. Thanks for tuning in. This is my homemade bread vegetable stuffing. I hope you like it. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye for now.